Here is another AAF review. This time we are reviewing Batman and Robin. After seeing The Dark Knight for the first time, I started getting interested in Batman. I wanted to see his movies. Everybody's saying that this is the worst Batman movie ever. It's horrible. I rented it, and I wanted to see what it's like. And I give it a 6 out of 10, well, actually 7 out of 10. Because of the humor and the good acting by Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also the bad acting by George Clooney. Now, if you want to see a Batman movie that has lots of humor and fun, and Batman actually respects Robin, then I recommend seeing the movie Batman the Robin from 1966. Now, this movie has many funny scenes and great acting. Unlike Batman and Robin, there are lots of boring scenes in Batman and Robin, but this scene has only 2 boring scenes. There are a lot of scenes. It seemed like everything in this movie was good. It was funny. And the acting was good, but some of the acting in Batman and Robin was good. But George Clooney as Batman has some of the worst acting I've ever seen, and I'm going to get to that now. Chris O'Donnell did a good job as Robin. Arnold Schwarzenegger did a good job as Mr. Freeze. And the relationship between Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze was very good. But the plot against it was a bit weird, and with Mr. Freeze's story. Mr. Freeze's wife was dying with a rare disease. Mr. Freeze wanted to try to freeze her and then unfreeze her and Peter to get her alive again. But then Mr. Freeze accidentally falls into the ice and turns into an ice-like man with ice-like fins in his veins. I don't know. But the fighting in the first scene wasn't that good, but the fighting later in the film was pretty nice and good. And I think the acting from Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy was very good. But the film actually lacked some interesting scenes. But the visuals were pretty nice, and I really liked the design of the costumes in the movie, especially Robin's design. Although I do prefer the classic Robin costume design. And the classic Batman design, kind of like in... As you can tell, their costumes designs are the classic ones. Although this isn't the Batman the movie is from 1966. As you can tell that I've been comparing this movie with Batman and Robin a lot. But Batman the movie has more comedy, and Batman and Robin is more serious than this movie. And as you can tell, this movie has a weird look to it by just looking at the DVD cover. And one thing that I thought was a bit creepy and disturbing is that when Batgirl was sitting up, they showed her butts, well, not exactly. And on the Batman and Robin costume designs, they have kind of a nipple design, which is a bit disturbing. I don't want to talk about that now, do I? Batman and Robin had a nice feeling and tone to it. And the Gotham City looked really nice in this movie. But the CGI wasn't too good. When Mr. Freeze's henchman was riding on some big statue, it was like rubber floating up on the statue. One thing that people don't really like much about this movie is that George Clooney is just playing as Batman, but the George Clooney as Batman is more well thought and better than you think. But also especially the costume design of Batman. But I don't really like the costume design, but if that was the load of the costume design as Batman, this movie might have been better. Maybe. I don't know. But as you can tell, I like the Robin costume design. But if it was Robin's first movie, it would have been a lot better. But if you look at the classic Robin costume design as in this picture, and would have made, if they stayed true to the Robin costume as they also did in the Teen Titans cartoon, the movie might have been better. As you can tell, I think about this movie with costume, but as you can tell, I've been talking about Batman, Robin, and Mr. Freeze, and now I'm going to be talking about Poison Ivy and Batgirl now. Female time! Yay! Uma Thurman did a good job in her role as Poison Ivy, but this is my only second Uma Thurman movie with my first being Uma Thurman. That movie just came out, so I watched the movie right after I saw the Lightning Thief movie. But I'm supposed to be talking about Batman and Robin, not the Lightning Thief. And so I really did enjoy Uma Thurman and the relationship and Robin falling in love with her even though she wanted to kill her. So you probably wonder what her story is, and I'm going to get to that. Now, I love stories, don't you? Well, the story on Poison Ivy also had to do with the story of Bam. But Bam doesn't really talk too much in this movie, so that's why he's not on the cover of the DVD, which they should have put him on the cover of the DVD, although I don't know who played as him, so, but, a mad scientist made Bam into Bam, if you know what I mean, and, he, and then, he put, like, well, I don't know exactly, and she turned into Poison Ivy, and her lips were filled with venom, and she kissed him, and he died, and then they took a car to Gotham City, which Batman drove, which is a bit weird since they found love. Well, Bruce Wayne built a big telescope which told them lands or something like that, and then she managed to get her stopped, but he wants to kill her, but well, she wants to kill him. And then Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze meet, and their relationship, and for me, is funny and good. And so this is where some of the action begins. But meanwhile, Uncle Alfred, Alfred is dying, and her nephew, his nephew, comes to visit, who is a girl, which is Batgirl. Batman is well, which they actually work as partners and stuff like that together. Then watch Batman the movie. You'll see what I mean when you're done watching this movie. Yeah. And when you're done watching this movie, now Batman isn't showing Robin that much respect, and that makes Robin a bit mad. And Poison Ivy is Robin into a trap, but Batman, the smart one, is out of it. Like in Batman Begins, hysterical, if you know what I mean. But, and then, he starts falling in love, and, Poison Ivy calls her, and then, Batman catches him, and then he does some big speech about trusting and brotherhood and stuff like that, which I hated, and I didn't want to hear it. Suddenly, Robin starts liking Batman again, which is a bit weird, and I thought they would take more than that, but not in this series world. So, Robin and Poison Ivy kiss each other, but Robin doesn't turn into venom because he was wearing plastic lips, which is repellent to it, and there's a big fight scene with, Batgirl. And Mr. Freeze is defeated, and he goes to Arkham Asylum, and Batman and Robin save the day again. So I did enjoy this movie a little bit, but not too much, as it did get boring a little bit. I don't think it was horrible, so I do give it a 7 out of 10. That's all I can give it, but if you're, like, this movie had a lot of boring scenes and things that shouldn't be included, but if you want to see a Batman movie with none of that, it has Robin in it, and they work together, then I would recommend watching Batman the movie. Now, this movie, Batman and Robin actually work together a lot, and there are a lot of villains in it. It's a really good movie, even though, So, I give this movie a 7 out of 10 for the PG-13, so watch it. Watch Batman the movie first.